Hey everyone, it's Andrew Nagel, Valk9 Designs, and I'm back to show you my bezel tricks. And these tricks also apply to backplating a pendant, so this is kind of in lieu of the last start to finish tutorial that we did. This is to give you some tips and tricks when you're backplating a pendant as well, but I'm just going to show you what my process is on a cabochon here. Pretty nice piece of labradorite that I've had in my collection for a while, and I thought it would be nice in a just simply set pendant. And so I've cut out some divots on the sides of my bezel here, and when you start pushing on it here with your flat end bezel pusher, what you're going to want to start doing is pushing from opposite sides. And what I mean by that is from like the left point and then the right point and then from like the top and the bottom. And the reason that you want to do that is to create kind of an even pushing of the metal around the stone. I'm going to do a fully circular one in another video next week. This one has the little divots in, kind of like you would with a pendant. But what I mean is you're going to start on like the left side, and then you're going to go to the right side. And then as you can see, I'm just rotating it here and doing the opposite sides. And then you're going to want to do the top. Since I have these portions cut near the top, I can just fold this all over. But then I'm going to fold those down. And the reason that you start doing opposite sides, because as you can see the metal, it starts to kind of make a little wave at the top point there when you start pushing down on opposite sides. And if you just start pushing on one point and you start going all the way around a stone, you're going to end up with this weird flap of metal at the end of the stone. So when you're doing a fully encased either pendant or, stone bezel, you're going to want to start at the opposite points and then rotate the piece, start at opposite points again, and keep working the piece like that until you work down those little waves to a smooth finish all over the stone. Again, next week I'll show you that process with a fully encased stone. I'm not going to call this a fully encased bezel right now because it has these cut out points and stuff in it. I did that to make this a little bit easier and also show you the same process that you would for like a pendant, because a pendant's going to have some different points cut out to keep your wires exposed and stuff like that depending on the shape of the piece. And so, yeah, that's set very nicely in there now. We've got our metal pushed over, and it's not going to go anywhere. But the next thing we need to do is kind of finish this bezel line here at the top. I'm not exactly sure what the technical term is, but I'm going to take this angled pusher, and it's got kind of like a sharper end to it, so be careful not to put this on the stone. But you can run that angled edge across this bezel, and it helps to push down that metal just a little bit more over the stone and also form a nice kind of polished point there. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that over the whole stone and make sure it all looks nice and, even and smoothed over. The stone's not going to go anywhere. I left a little portion open on the back so you can see a little bit of the flash from the back of the labradorite. But yeah, this same process would be applicable to a pendant as well. And so when you're pushing over that bezel, just make sure not to have a giant flap of metal at the end. Again, you'll see a longer process of this next week with a fully finished bezel. Thank you everyone, and there's going to be another video out today as well.